Hola, gente linda. Hello, beautiful people. Hola is hello in Spanish, and gente linda means beautiful people in Spanish. I am Nelly Z. My goal for my YouTube channel is to study the topics for the licensed clinical social worker exam together and share this material with someone who may need it. First, I would like to share a quote to continue to be inspired and motivated to carry on with this journey. We will start studying the classic conditioning theory, and this is my first video reviewing this theory. Here is the link to the article that we will review in this video. I will post the link to this article under the video for your review at your convenience. Finally, thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. If you like to receive a notification when I upload a video, please subscribe and don't forget to like this video so we can all maximize the gift of the technology at this time. I also get motivated and inspired to get with this crazy idea we're studying together for the LCSW exam. Adios, mi gente linda, and many blessings. And here is the quote that I have for you today. Do your own thing, regardless of what others think or say. You are here for your own happiness, not theirs. Again, do your own thing, regardless of what others think or say. You are here for your own happiness, not theirs. I kind of like this quote. It sounds selfish, but sometimes we do have to be a little bit selfish to take care of ourselves. So we had to start doing our own things, regardless what the others think. Okay, so this article is from Simplest Psychology. They have a good information. So classical conditioning, how it works with example. And it has been updated this year. So let's read it together. We probably will have to do 2 videos for this article because it's long. We'll see. Classical conditioning, also known as Pavlovian or responding conditioning, is learning through association and was discovered by Pavlov, a Russian psychologist. In simple terms, two stimuli are linked together to produce a new learned and response in a person or animal. John Watson proposed that the process of classical conditioning based on Pavlov's observation was able to explain all aspects of human psychology. If you paired a neutral stimulus, NS, with an unconditional stimulus, US, that already triggered an unconditional response, UR, the neutral stimulus will become a conditional stimulus, CS, triggering a conditioned response, CR, similar to the original conditioned response. Let's read it again. If you pair a neutral stimulus, NC, with an unconditioned stimulus, US, that already triggered an unconditional response, that neutral stimulus will become a conditional stimulus, CS, triggering a conditioned response, CR, similar to original unconditioned response. Everything from speech to emotional response was simply a pattern of stimulus and response Watson completely denied the existence of the mind or consciousness. Watson believed that all individuals' differences in behavior were due to different learning experience. Watson, 1924, page 104, famously said, Give me a dozen healthy infants, well formed, and my own specified word to bring them up in, and I'll guarantee to take any at random and train him to become any type of specialist I may select. Doctor, lawyer, artist, merchant, chief, and yes, even beggarman and thief, regardless of his talent, perchance, tendency, abilities, vocations, and the race of his ancestors. How classical conditioning works. There are three stages of classical conditioning. At each stage, the stimuli and response are given special scientific terms. Stage 1, before conditioning. In this stage, the unconditioned stimulus, UCS, produces an unconditioned response, UCR, in an organism. In basic terms, this means that a stimulus in the environment has produced a behavior response which is unlearned and conditioned, and their form is a natural response which has not been taught. In this respect, no new behavior has been learned yet. For example, a stomach virus, UCS, would produce a response of nausea, UCR. In another example, a perfume, UCS, could create a response of happiness or desire, UCR. This stage also involved another stimulus which has no effect on a person. It's called neutral stimulus. The NC could be a person, object, place, etc. The neutral stimulus in classical conditions does not produce a response until it's paired with unconditional stimulus. Stage 2, during conditioning. During this stage, a stimulus which produces no response, neutral, is associated with the unconditioned stimulus, at which point it now becomes known as the conditioned stimulus, CS. For example, a stomach virus, UCS, might be associated with eating a certain food such as chocolate, CS. Also, perfume, UCS, might be associated with a specific person, CS. For classical conditioning to be effective, the conditioned stimulus should occur before the unconditioned stimulus, rather than after it, or during the same time. Thus, the conditioned stimulus acts as a type of signal or cue for the unconditional stimulus. In some cases, conditioning may take place if the NS occur after the UCS, backward conditioning, but this normally disappears quite quickly. The most important aspect of the conditional stimulus is that it helps the organism predict the coming of the unconditional stimulus. Often during this stage, the UCS must be associated with the CS, or on a number of occasions or trials for learning to take place. However, one trial learning can happen on certain occasions when it's not necessary for an association to be strengthened over time, such as being sick after food poison or drinking too much alcohol. Stage 3, after conditioning. Now, the conditioned stimulus, CS, has been associated with the unconditioned stimulus, UCS, to create a new conditioned response, CR. For example, a person, CS, who has been associated with nice perfume, UCS, is now found attractive, CR. Also, chocolate, CS, which was eaten before a person was sick with a virus, UCS, now produces a response of nausea, CR. Classical condition example. Pavlov's dogs. The most famous example of classical conditioning was Ivan Pavlov's experiment with dogs, who salivated in response to a bell tone. Pavlov showed that when the bell was sounded each time the dog was fed, the dog learned to associate the sound with the presentation of the food. Conditioning Pavlov dog experiment. Before conditioning, unconditioned stimulus, unconditional response. Here is the dog. Neutral stimulus, no response. During condition, after condition. During condition, food bear. Unconditioned response. After condition, condition response. He first presented the dog with the sound of bear. They did not salivate, so this was a neutral stimulus. Then he presented them with the food. They salivate. The food was unconditional stimulus. Salivation was unconditional innate response. Then he repeatedly presented the dogs with the sound of the bell first. Then the food pair after few repetitions. The dog salivates when they hear the sound of the bell. The bell had become the conditioned stimulus and salivation had become the conditioned response. Fear response. Watson and Rayner in 1920 were the first psychologists to apply the principle of classical conditioned human behavior by looking how this learning process may explain the development of formula. They did this and now considered to be one of the most ethical dubious experiments ever conducted, the case of little Albert. Albert's mother was a wet nurse in a children's hospital. Albert was described as a healthy from birth and on whole stolid and emotional. When he was about 9 months old, his reaction to various stimuli included a white rat and burning newspaper and hammer strike for food, a steel bar just behind his head were tested. Only the last of this frightening him, so this was designed the unconditional stimulus, and fear the unconditional response. The other stimuli were neutral because they did not produce fear. When Albert was just about 11 months old, the rat and the UCR were presenting together. As Albert reached out to stroke the animal, Watson struck the bars behind his head. This occurred 7 times in total. over the next 7 weeks. By this time, the rat and the conditioned stimulus in his own frightened Albert. Fear was now unconditional response. The CR transferred spontaneously to the rabbit and the dog, other stimulus that had been previously noted. 5 days after the condition, the CR produced by the rat persisted after 10 days. It was much less marked, but it was still evident a month later. Carter and Tiffany, 1999, support the cue reactivity theory. They carry out meta-analysis reviewing 41 cue reactivity studies that compare response of alcoholic cigarette smokers, cocaine addicts, and heroin addicts to drug-related versus neutral stimuli. They found that dependent individuals reacted strongly to cues presented and report craving psychological arousal. Panic disorder. Classic conditioning is thought to play an important role in development of panic disorder. Boughton, 2002. Panic disorder often begins after an initial conditioning episode, involving an early panic attack. The panic attack serves an unconditional stimulus, US, that gets paired with neutral stimulus, conditioned stimulus or CS, allowing those stimulus to later trigger exciting and panic reaction, conditioned response or CRs. The panic attack use US, which is in the US can become associated with interoceptive cues like increased heart rate, as well as external situational cues that are presented during the attack. This allows those cues to later elicit exciting and possible panics, CRs, conditional response, which is. Through this conditioned process, anxiety becomes focused on the possibility of having another panic attack. This anticipatory anxiety, CR, which is conditional response, is seen as a key step in development of panic disorder, as it leads to heightened vigilance and sensitive to bodily can trigger future attack. The presence of conditioned anxiety can serve to potentiate or exacerbate future panic attack. Anxiety cues essentially lower the threshold for panic. This helps explain how panic disorder can spiral after the initial conditioned episode. Evidence suggests most patients with panic disorder recall an initial panic attack or conditioned event that preceded the disorder. Prospective studies also show conditioned anxiety and panic reactions can develop after initial panic episode. Classical conditioning processes are believed to often occur outside of conscious awareness in panic disorder, reflecting the operation of emotional neural systems separate from declarative knowledge system. Okay, my people, we're gonna stop here because as you can see, this article gets longer. So then we have addiction, classroom learning, principle of classic conditional, unconditional stimulus, unconditional response, conditional stimulus, conditional response, acquisition, extinction, spontaneous recovery, generalization, discrimination, higher order conditioning, critical evaluations, explaining involuntary behaviors, supported by substantial experiment evidence, weakness, and go on and on. So we'll continue to read the video more in my next video. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. I hope you are enjoying these articles and learning together. Adios. Many blessings. Bye-bye.